Right, the Reds, this is Talking Reds, Friday's Talking Reds, and it's a bit of a weird time, isn't it? We all know that by now, and I'm not sure whether you really get a Friday feeling during these times. I mean, I am, though, having, or supposed to be having, a virtual bevy with me mates later. I mean, God knows how that's going to pan out, but I'm kind of looking forward to it. Craig, what are you doing to sort of stay sane during the coronavirus crisis? I've seen you posting sunset shots of your walks.
I love the sky. I'm a big fan of different skies and taking pictures of it. So yeah, I've been going on a couple of walks. I think we've been lucky this week, haven't we, in the UK, where the weather's been really good. I think today's going to be the last day of it. So just sort of been having nice little walks. I've been watching that Netflix TV show Tiger King. Have you been watching that? No. I can't believe this is a sentence I'm about to say, but I didn't foresee me watching a TV show about a gay redneck on meth who owns a tiger farm who goes to jail for attempted murder. So there's been that.
Spoilers.
No, that's not a spoiler. They tell you that at the start. Okay. I learned that Liam Gallagher goes to hula hoop class. Did you see that?
No, it's missed
this. He tweeted it. He said, "I've just been to hula hoop class and fucked." And what was the other one? Britney Spears. Britney Spears ran the 100 meters in 5.7 seconds. That's just under 4 seconds quicker than Usain Bolt. And she's made up with herself as well. That's the best bit about it. She's like, "Yes, I've finally done it," which is amazing. On your Skype call with your mates, you should do a little screen record, just so that, like, if it goes on for a few hours and you're pissed, you get to see what you did towards the end of the phone call.
Well, I've been doing some stuff as well. I've been getting involved with Tim Burgess, the singer out of the Charlatans, has been doing Twitter listening parties. And last night it was Ride, who were obviously my favourite band. And we listened to Going Blank again. And, like, you know, Andy Bell of Ride and of Oasis fame, and the drummer, Loz, got involved, and were, like, just telling you, like, you know, how the songs come about, why the lyrics were what they were, and all that. It was boss. It's really good. Like, had a little glass of wine, listened to the album, watched the tweets rolling in. I was really into it. Like, there's an Oasis one tonight. Bonehead's doing it. Liam was meant to be doing it, but I don't know what's happened now, because he seems to be talking about, like, he's not doing it now, but we'll see. But yeah, good. Enjoyed it, and a good idea. Did you do your clap for the NHS as well?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was it was lovely, wasn't it? Sort of,
it was nice.
You know, being able to hear it around the streets, and even seeing everyone's videos, and like places like London where it's so densely populated. Yeah. That it was, you know, so loud. It sounded like a football stadium sort of echoing against the buildings. And, you know, I've seen quite a few people who I know that work for the NHS that, you know, with them posting about it and saying, like, how much it meant and so on. So that'll give everyone a boost. And I think it's just a nice moment for the country, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was good as well. I've seen a lot of sort of cynicism about it on social media, but I thought it was a nice touch. And I actually hadn't done me exercise, if you like, for the day, because I just got behind on writing a piece. And so, like, by the time, like, eventually, like, could find my rhythm on the writing, and by the time I'd done it, it was like sort of 7:30, and it had gone dark, and I thought, I've got to still go out. I can't just stay in all day. So I went out anyway, and I was out when it happened, and I've always thought, and I've always been a little bit scared, and I know this is a bit mad, but mad times. I've always thought, is anyone in Sefton Park at night? And it turns out they're not. So I walked around Sefton Park and around the lake and everything in the pitch black on my own, and then everyone started clapping around all the flats that are around the park, and some people left fireworks off, which was mad, but it was boss-like, and I thought, oh, that, you know, what a really nice touch. And so I was just there on my own, listening to everyone clap for the NHS. The Palm House was lit up blue as well for the NHS. So it was nice. It was a little bit scary, like.
Yeah, well, I went on a walk as well, and we got back about 5 to 8 just in time. And I was saying to Rebecca, like, can you imagine if we'd been sort of 5 minutes later walking as we walked into the estate and everyone's clapping as if it's like for us? Yes, thank you, everyone.
What else have we got to talk about? I mean, I guess we should talk about the Anfield app a little bit, and that we're keeping on, like I always say. But we've done some great stuff this week, and even if we do say so ourselves, and look, there's loads of talk all the time, including something we're going to talk about in a minute, where people keep saying it's not important. There's too many other things going on in the way. And we're all worried as well, and we've all got our own issues around our own mental health, around our families, around looking after people we love and all the rest of it. But equally, you want an escape from it. You want to talk about something that isn't the coronavirus. You want to watch something, listen to something, write something that isn't anything to do with that. And so I think from both sides at the moment, us doing it, people listening to it and getting feedback and so on, it's great all round. And I've just done, it'll be out soon, an interview with Jose Enrique, which was a bit random. The actual concept of speaking to him over Skype. But he's such a lovely fella. And I just said to him at the start, so we just like make this really positive and have a laugh. And he was like, yeah. And we had a great laugh. And I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but he told some great stories, and it was boss. And we also got Damien Hughes yesterday, so that'll be out soon as well. Talking about all the psychology of the situation and stuff like that. We've had him on the Anfield app before. He was great. Neil's been soldiering away all week as well. Talking to fans of other clubs about the situation at their club. We've got On This Day podcast going out every single day. So as mad as it sounds, it's actually a good time to subscribe, isn't it, Kate? Because there's loads of stuff that isn't Boris Johnson getting the coronavirus.
I know, yeah. Shaking hands with fellas 2 weeks ago and being happy about it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Doing this is one of the highlights of my week, and it feels a little bit like you're cheating on me by doing other videos with Damien Hughes and Jose Enrique and all these more important people than me. But no, you're right. I think like one of the things that we've been keen to do from the very start is like be as sort of imaginative as possible and sort of think, well, what is possible in a time when so many people are going to be in their houses, not just listeners and viewers, but interviewees, people like Jose Enrique who will have had a lovely time laughing with you about Knowsley Safari Park and all of that, and you'll see what I mean, God. and just generally, we spoke about it a little bit last week, but the idea of like just brightening up each other's day really through content. And I think you're right. It's the sort of breadth of the stuff that we put out over the past week. Like I've been looking around, and it's not who's your favorite player or what's your favorite moment of the season. It's proper in-depth stuff. And Damien Hughes has been one of the most popular people we've had in the podcast over the last few years. Jose Enrique, we've got a couple of other ones confirmed just the last couple of days as well, and interviews for next week. So yeah, we're pushing on. I mean, I'm excited about it all. It's nice to listen to.
Yeah, it's good, and it's a good escape. And as I say, it's one of them where you do need to do something that isn't talk about the coronavirus, just for everyone's sanity, really. So we've had good feedback as well, and we're really happy about that. And by the way, you just asked me a question before we started this, and I've just found the answer. These mugs, Gibbo mentioned them the other day on when we were doing AFK. We said, I've noticed Robbo's got a collection of good mugs. So this is my Stone Roses one. T bangs the drums. I've also got a Jerry Cinnamon one, T is a belter, and I've got an Oasis one, T's electric. So the fella who does it is called RT Burgers, and he's a lad in Glasgow, basically knocking out these mugs around like musicians and stuff, and they're great. And like he's a small business. He's on his Todd, as far as I know. I had a little chat with him, and so I just thought, while we're talking or while we're being nice, let's give RT Burgers a little shout to RT Burgers if you want a nice mug. Imagine that coming through the post. That'll cheer up, won't it? Anyway,
if anyone wants to see my mug as well, it's Employee of the Month mug. I won it 3 years ago and I still drink out of it.
Okay, now lads. We have got to talk about Liverpool though, and we have got to talk about football. That is what the Anfield app does, and it is still taking over in terms of information coming out, things coming out, pieces coming out, opinion coming out, transfer rumours coming out, and all the rest of it. And there is a piece on The Athletic today from David Ornstein. And it seems to be off the back of, obviously there was news yesterday that lower leagues, non-league, etc., they've made it null and void, which is a real shame, I think. I mean, there's a couple of teams locally that have been affected by this. Vauxhall Motors, I know, over on the Wirral, were up. Basically, they were getting promoted, and then that has now been scratched from the record. And that's sort of 7-8 months of football gone. And you know, you think about the work that goes into that, even at that level. That's tough to take for all of those people. And look, I get it about what I just said before about, yeah, life is going on around us and it's really mad at the moment, and there are people sick, there are people dying, but we still got to talk about football because we love it and it's so much of our lives and it's so much of their lives. And I just think it's a real shame. I follow quite a lot of people who were in non-league football, and they were talking about sort of understandable on one hand, but on the other hand, a real shame for all that hard work that's gone in. Off the back of that, I think it's off the back of that anyway, there is obviously now a conversation around the Premier League again. And we know that they met, and we know that they said that there was 100% commitment to completing the league, whatever that may take. And yet, someone somewhere is deciding to put stuff out again via the Athletic. And what I don't get about this is this tone that they've taken in it. So he says, one senior figure told the Athletic it is morally wrong for football to be even discussing playing behind closed doors while the coronavirus is at its peak. Right? I understand that we don't want to do anything. No one wants to do anything that would affect the NHS in any way. Of course. But equally, these clubs are businesses. The Premier League's a business. Football's got a business side to it. And of course they're going to discuss it. Of course they're going to talk about it. Of course they've got to have discussions about how this will work whenever it comes back. So to say it's morally wrong, I'm not sure it is, mate, because no one's expecting people in football or people who talk about football to solve a pandemic. What they have got to try and solve is the situation around what they do about that with the football, if and when it's resuming. And that's what they're doing. And he said, you know, he's gone really to town, whoever this senior figure is, saying people sitting around on Skype around the Premier League table, their egos cannot sustain a mirror being held up to them. The fact is they're not as important as a Tesco delivery driver right now. No one's disputing any of this. But, you know, there are facts that 75% of the season is being played. There are facts that £762 million in broadcast revenue has been paid and has been shared out. And those broadcasters are going to put their hands out and ask for it back, let's be honest, if the football doesn't get paid. There are loads of stuff around this. And, you know, it just keeps going on about the pandemic. It keeps comparing football to the pandemic. I don't see why we've got to make the comparison. They are completely different. It is just a game. It is just a sport. But it is something that means an awful lot to an awful lot of people. And it's what we were just talking about as well. It's an escape. So, of course, we all want to know what the general thinking is around it. And I don't really get the tone of this stuff, to be honest with you.
I think you're right. I think the first thing is it feels like this is someone with an agenda that wants to try and set an agenda. Same with numerous people that we've heard come out in the media. Quite often it's for their own self-interest more than anything. Look, if this senior official was, you know, cared this much about it, well then why is he gone anonymous? Why is he not putting his name to these quotes and owning exactly what he thinks? I think the thing to think is that the Premier League and these governing bodies of football will, I mean, they make their own rules. This is something that we've never seen the like of before. And so, you know, people keep saying, "Oh, well, you can't go into next season." Well, you can, because we make our own rules. You need to finish this season before you start next, because it dictates what happens next season. As long as all of this is happening safely, in a safe environment for the players, for those that have to work, whether it's journalists. Obviously, look, it looks as if it'll be behind closed doors, but it's ensuring that everyone that's involved in that match day is safe, and it's safe to do so. Then you know, so be it. Let's get it done. I think the non-league news will have worried some, from a sort of selfish Liverpool fan point of view, will have worried some, because you're thinking, well, God, that's a league there that's just decided, no, it's null and void now. And like, you're right, God, you'd feel for the clubs there that have worked so hard all season and are going for promotion or whatever. And and that's really difficult. But from a selfish point of view, you're like, oh shit, this is another league that's decided that's null and void. And is that going to set a precedent? Is that going to? I just don't think it will. I think that there's so much money in the Premier League and there's so much at stake, and we don't like to think of football as a business, really, do we? But beyond the football teams, beyond the Premier League, beyond the TV deal, well, then there's the shirt sponsors, there's the advertising, there's this butterfly effect that happens from if you stop the league there and then, that it just the amount of businesses that become affected right down to the very bottom is massive. So I think it'll be within everyone's interest to find a way to finish it safely. You must keep saying, because look, we're talking about in a football with our football hat on, but obviously the pandemic and everything that's going on, it's about saving as many people's lives and ensuring that as little people are affected by all of this. But when we talk about it from a football point of view, we need to find a way to finish this league season. And like I said, it's the Premier League and it's the governing bodies. They can make their own rules. They can make it go into August or go into September or start it in June or start it in whenever it becomes safe to do so, as long as we get it finished.
I mean, you mentioned there the phrase self-interest, and the thing is, everyone's got a self-interest, and I think everyone's trying. And I think, though, it's fine to say that is the case, but everyone's trying to kid themselves that they haven't. So no. Of course, we have. Like, I got an absolute shitload of abuse because I did something for sport about a week and a half ago, where they just said, "Will you just do a little video on what you think about what should happen?" Now they put that out a week and a half later after they'd actually said the words, and they put it out around the time of one of Boris Johnson's announcements. So it wasn't great time, and I've got to be honest with you. And I got loads and loads of stick and loads of people saying, why are you talking about football when you're talking about this? And it's like, I can be bothered about both. I can be bothered about both. They're not mutually exclusive. And of course, the self-interest, of course, as a Liverpool fan, I want to see Liverpool eventually win this league. What I don't get is people are going at you saying, of course, the league should just be scrapped and we just start again. And it's like, well, why? Because there's one that's 75% done and there's one that hasn't even started. And we're obviously going to have to move the goalposts, as you say. We don't know when football can possibly start again and not put a strain on, public services, the NHS and all the rest of it. I mean, some of the points in this piece, I think, are valid. I've got to be honest with you. Like it says, for instance, if you played it behind closed doors, how would you literally stop people? Like, can you imagine Liverpool play a match behind closed doors at Anfield and it means they can win the league? How would anyone stop thousands of people not just coming and standing outside the stadium? How would you do it?
No, you're right.
And the resource that would take up, is put to better use elsewhere right now. And so no one is saying, just do it. I mean, but equally though, I mean, there's so many aspects to it, and I just think it's mad the way like people are getting like entrenched in these positions. Like there's a fellow that I see, a Spurs fan on Twitter. And every single person that comments on whether the league should be done, he replies to it. Be it anyone from the Anfield app, be it a journalist. And every single time, his reply is, there are more important things going on. Well, why are you replying to tweets about football then if there are more important things going on? Because in his head, I think he doesn't want Liverpool to win it. And his... Spurs haven't got much skin in the game, so he's quite happy for it to be written off and start again and have another crack at Spurs being decent. And if that's not the truth of the matter, I mean, I think he's lying to himself if he says that's not the truth of the matter, because his behaviour, he's there every single time. Like I've said something about it a couple of times, and he's all over the replies. Gutman said something about it. He's all over Gutman. He's all over Henry Winter, and it's like, lad, if it's not important, stop replying. Stop talking.
You know what? Like we've both admitted, I called myself selfish when I'm talking it in this way, because of course, like as soon as we begin talking about football and we separate it from how important the work against the coronavirus is at the moment, as soon as it's solely down to football, where our thought is, I want Liverpool to win the league. I want to make sure that Liverpool win the league this season. And you speak about them playing it behind closed doors. I think you're right. They'd have to have some amount of police patrolling around Anfield, because I'll admit, like throughout this whole period, I've from very early on, and it's mostly down to how like the Anfield Rap as a business responded to the coronavirus, because I think like we were one of the first businesses I know to close our doors, to prevent the spread, to look after the staff, and like Neil led brilliantly on all of that, and so from that moment, like I've taken it as seriously as I possibly could in terms of course, washing your hands, all of the stuff that we've been told, but like keeping myself away from people. I'm asthmatic. I don't want to. I don't want to get coronavirus. Obviously, I don't want to pass it on to anyone else. But there's still a part of me that if Liverpool were gonna, yes, of the asthmatics, but there is a part of me that if Liverpool were at the chance to win the league and it was at Anfield, well, I'm 11 minutes away from Anfield in a car. There's a part of me that would be thinking, I might go down there. I'd love to go down there. I think I'd go down there with some beer. And I know that's do you know what I mean? And that's how irrational football is, and that's how irrational football makes you. Like, it is the most irrational of leisure activities, isn't it? We've talked about that in the past on podcasts. And throughout this, I've taken this virus very seriously, and as seriously as possible, taken all the measures and so on. But there is still a part of me that would think to myself, well, if Liverpool can win the league down there, I want to be with as many people, as many Liverpool fans as I can. And that is irrational, and that is unsafe. So you're right. Like, the moment that it is played behind closed doors, there'll be people trying to do that, because I know I'd think about it. And I'm only admitting that. I know I know that's completely wrong. I'm just admitting that there'd be something in my head that goes, should get down there.
Well, I think it's fine to say it's really, really difficult, and it's really, really difficult to see how they're going to do it. But I don't see why you've got to jump in a camp of saying it's easier to scrap it. Why is it? Because it's not. I honestly don't see how it's easier to scrap the season, because you've got the promotion and relegation issues, you've got the European places issues, you've got the issues of the TV money, you've got the issues of all the money fans have paid out for the season, season tickets, etc., etc., etc. There are loads of ramifications to it not getting finished when it's 75% done. And yet there's a quote in this piece we're talking about on The Athletic where it says, it's absolutely clear what's going to happen. It's a worldwide pandemic. You just start the season again, and there are very few losers. Liverpool, I know, but in the grand scheme of things, honestly, it doesn't matter. You've just got to start again.
That's bollocks. That is absolute bollocks. And you mentioned the fella that's responded on Twitter to tweets. Well, Jeff in North London, there might not be many ramifications. He might get a little bit of money back in his season ticket, and he might be able to claim some back from Sky, and he might have to cancel his BT package or whatever, and that's where it ends for him, because he has no real vested interest in how Spurs do for the rest of the season, because they are absolutely shite this season. But if you think that the ramifications are massive, like they are so widespread, and they're things that we aren't even thinking about, as small as that. Obviously, football is a multi-billion-pound industry, and Liverpool, for instance, is. But then Liverpool has projections based on the money it's made from season tickets, from ticketing, from sponsorship deals, all of this thing, that then suddenly, well, some of their staff might be affected, but if this season's null and void because suddenly it's just cut off and that's it, they're having to give money back. There's so many sort of business aspects that us as fans, usually we just never think about them. We just don't. And I suppose for like me and you, we're probably thinking about them a little bit more because we're working for an SME business that is going to be affected by the coronavirus, and so we're directly having to think about it. But it's, in my opinion, they just need to find a way. And again, I know that's self-interest, but that's okay because we're admitting it.
Yeah, I just want to apologise to everyone watching if you've got motion sickness, watching Craig bang his laptop as he gets more animated.
Sorry.
Have you not got a dining table, you lad?
Do you know what? I keep forgetting we're doing a video. I keep thinking I'm just chatting to you.
Yeah, it's driving me wild. That I'm like, whoa. I might have to ring the doctors for some motion sickness stuff here. Yeah, I mean, I think we've covered the debate there, haven't we? And we will keep on covering the debate. We'll try and do the lighter stuff as well, though. I think it's important to try and do lighter stuff. And we will be doing things like, for those that subscribe, we're continuing to do things like AFQ, where we just answer daft questions off Twitter, have a drink, and just sort of, have a laugh.
Because brilliant last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really good.
It was really good on it.
Yeah, it was really good, and it was really good. It was really good for me, to be honest, and it was really good for everyone who watched. We've had really good feedback, so we're going to try and do our best to keep on going all the way through. Stick with us. A nice one for sticking with us, a nice one for all the lovely comments you've sent us. That has been Friday's Talking Red. What are you doing with your weekend, Craig? Any special plans?
No, to be honest, like I've just realized, I've just forgotten that I won't be getting up. I've been getting up early and sort of getting on with work because there isn't really that much else to do. Do you know what I mean? No, I'm glad you reminded me that it's Saturday. I don't really have any sort of concept of time or days at the minute. It's strange, isn't it? Like my time seems to be like, getting up for work, doing work, and then turning on the like Boris Johnson on TV to see what he's saying today. Do you know what I mean? So just more walks if I can. I know it's meant to be raining at the weekend, but being as active as possible and eating less Easter eggs.
I liked Mike Gerlin of Anfield rap fame put a tweet out saying yesterday, because it was a nice day yesterday, as you said, and he put a tweet out saying something like it was along the lines of just been to Sefton Park and can confirm it's busier than Africa, oh yeah, or something like that.
The thing is, everyone has the same idea, don't they? They're like, oh, right, well, we need to do our one exercise a day, so we'll go to the park and we'll go for a walk. But then it's because it's such a popular park in smack bang in the middle of South Liverpool, like, that everyone goes and suddenly it's no longer social distancing. It's just like a bank holiday.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when I went, it was very busy the other day. I went during the day, but people were keeping the distance. And as I say, I can confirm if you go late on at night when there's no light whatsoever, that not many people are doing that because it's a bit mad. But we are where we are.
You're the scary, creepy guy lingering around the park at night. That's who you turned into last night by accident.
I know, I didn't mean to be that. I did think that, because I did solely do it, obviously, for exercise. But then when I was walking around, I was thinking, I hope I don't see someone now, because they're going to be like, what's he up to, the weirdo? But I just had to get out. I hope everyone else out there, anyway, is looking after themselves. Stay well, look after your family, keep talking to each other. Try and stay fit, try and stay healthy. Keep on keeping on. Watch the Anfield app, listen to the Anfield app. Read the stuff on the website. Love you. That has been Talking Reds. We'll do another one on Monday. Up the Reds.